We'll start with application of derivatives now. This is your fourth lesson, applications of derivatives. Of course, like derivatives is the base. You need to thoroughly understand the definitions, the formulas, everything of derivatives, and then only you can crack this lesson. So in this lesson, what are we going to do? We'll do the applications, as the name says. Application में जैसे question है where the not you have to find out derivatives mostly, but where are the derivatives probably practically applied or practically used. That is what we're going to do. Few of such applications are increasing and decreasing functions, finding maxima minima of a function, or application of derivatives in the field of economics, because you are doing commerce, right? You do commerce students. So one of the few such thing is related to a curve. Okay, first thing, pehle to I want to list out a few formulas. We'll do a quick 1-2 minutes ka theory first. All right. Suppose if you have a curve or a function y is equal to f of x. Okay, if this is a continuous function of x, suppose I'll just write it, and this is the function. Suppose y is equal to f of x. This is the function. Okay. Um, what do you call this curve? Okay, in case if you draw a tangent to this, so suppose if this is the curve, and if case if you want to draw a tangent to this tangent, I hope you all understand tangent is nothing but that which touches the curve at one point, right? Just one point. So suppose this is the tangent, this is the curve that you have, and this is the tangent which is touching the circle at one point. Suppose this point we can call it P. Okay, this is the curve, and this is the point where the tangent touches the circle. So the equation of this tangent touches the curve y is equal to f of x is always given as, this is one such application. Suppose the points p of the tangent is a comma b, right? A comma b are the two coordinates of that point where the tangent touches the circle. Will be given as, the equation of the tangent will be given as y minus b, which is equal to derivative, okay, f dash a into x minus a. What is f dash a? F of x, we know the curve. F dash of x will be the derivative, correct? F dash of x is the derivative. F dash of a, ये derivative जो मिला है उस पे जहां जहां x है, so at that point of a, what is the value? That is f dash of a, right? Okay, so this is the equation y minus b f dash of a x minus a. Okay, now this was with respect to the um, tangent. Okay, now in case if you have another thing that is called as normal. Okay, normal is nothing but that normal which is like 90 degree to the tangent. Okay, if the tangent is like this, normal will exactly be perpendicular. This, there's a theorem, right? So that we know it. So in case if you want to find out, if they tell you to find out equation of that normal, what will change is y minus b, which will be equal to the tangent that you're finding out, and the this thing, what is that, the derivative, or that is called as the slope or gradient. Okay, so the derivative is also called as slope, and gradient is nothing but, it is denoted for normal as minus 1 upon negative inverse. Okay, this will be the only change. Equation of tangent will be y minus b, the derivative at point A into x minus a. For normal, it will be the same thing, but instead of that slope or the derivative, you will have negative, uska inverse, okay, negative ka inverse, minus or 1 upon whatever answer you have, that thing. So you have to remember the slope of the tangent is nothing but called as the gradient of the curve, and that is denoted using its derivative at that point, that particular point A. Let us solve few sums. It is not tough at all. Suppose if they give you find equation of tangent and normal. Okay, they're telling you find equation of tangent and normal to the curve y is equal to x square plus 4x plus 1 at point t is equal to minus 1 comma minus 2. All right. tangent and normal to the curve y is equal to x square plus 4x plus 1 at point P is equal to minus 1 comma minus 2. Now this is the equation given to us. Y is equal to x square plus 4x plus 1. Yeah, this is the equation given to us. We have to find out, as I said, you have to find out what equation of tangent and equation of normal. We have both the formulas with us. Equation of tangent also we have. What is that? Y minus b, f dash of a, x minus a. What is a and b now? A is minus 1, b is minus 2. Correct? These are the points of p, correct? The abscissa and the ordinates of p. Now, when you kind of derivate this function, this is nothing but your f of x or your y, the same thing, right? We denote it using y or f of x, the curve. So when you differentiating with respect to x, of course, we need a derivative over here, but at point A, right? So what are we going to do? We will derivate this first. Let us derivate this function. So we get dy by dx, which is equal to, as I said, you have to be very thorough with all the formulas of derivatives. Otherwise, this lesson will be a very big problem. So this is x square, right? N into x raised to n minus 1 का formula यहाँ पे apply होगा. So that will be 2x plus 4. Yes, because x square plus 4x plus 1. When you derivate this, x square for derivative is n into x raised to n minus 1. That's 2x plus 4 into derivative of x with respect to x is 1 only. And 1 is a constant, so that's 0, 2x plus 4. Okay, this is the derivative in general, right? This is a slope 2x plus 4. But I have told you, you have to find out this derivative at that particular point, no, at f dash of a. What is our a over here? A is minus 1. So dy by dx at that particular point p minus 1 comma minus 2 is given as 2 into minus 1 plus 4. Correct? At that point a we are finding out. So this will be 2 minus 1. 2 into minus 1 is minus 2 plus 4, which is equal to 2. Okay. Slope of the tangent at point P minus 1 minus 2 is equal to 2. So that's the final answer. Alright. So now this is nothing but, as I said, I told you that derivative is nothing but the slope or gradient, correct? So this is the slope of the tangent. Let us write slope of tangent at point P is equal to 2. Now, they actually told us to find out equation of tangent, correct? So, equation of tangent will be, as you know that formula, y minus b, which is equal to f dash of a, x minus a. You don't have to write this formula all the time, it's just because we are doing it for the first time. Y minus b. What is b? B is minus 2, which is equal to f dash of a. What is f dash of a? 2, right? F dash of a we just found out, which is equal to this 2, okay? X minus a. So that was equal to 1. Now, this is y plus 2, which is equal to 2 into x plus 1. So that is y plus 2, which is equal to 2x plus 2. So this becomes 2x, which is that I'm writing all these things on one side. 2x minus y, which is equal to 0, 2 getting cancelled. So this is nothing but the equation of the tangent at that particular point P, whose coordinates are minus 1 and minus 2 respectively. Okay. Is this the end? No, this is not the end. They had also asked us to find out equation of the normal, right? Equation of the normal में what did I tell you? What's the difference? जो slope है tangent वाला उसका negative inverse मतलब minus करके 1 upon that will be the answer, right? So what will be the slope of normal now? Slope of normal at the point will be equal to now tangent का what was the answer? Tangent के लिए the slope of the tangent was equal to 2, correct? So this will be negative inverse, no? Negative 1 upon 2. Okay, negative और उसका inverse. पहले वो 2 था, उसका negative और inverse. So that is minus half. Now, okay. So now slope of normal we have got. What after getting the slope of normal? We will of course find out equation of normal, correct? So equation of normal at point P is equal to minus 1 minus 2 is the same thing, y minus b. So we can, I think, right now y plus 2 we can write because we have just written it that over here. Just a second. So this is y minus b, which is equal to f dash of, so now we have minus 1 upon f dash of a, x minus a. This was the equation for the normal. So y minus b was minus 2, which is equal to minus 1 upon, so this answer we have got it as, yes, x minus 1. Now the final step is y plus 2, which is equal to minus 1 by 2, x plus 1. This is 2y plus 4, which is equal to minus x minus 1. And then minus x minus 2y, which will be equal to 5. Correct? So then we can just put it in the proper order. X plus 2y plus 5, which is equal to 0. This is nothing but the equation of normal. Please understand the procedure or the pattern of the question. It's no different. It's just that when they were to tell you find out equation of tangent or equation of normal. Tangent का ये formula है, normal का ये formula है. और दोनों में you need to find out the slope. Correct? The slope of the tangent is f dash of a. So we will first always start with derivating the function. After derivating, you will substitute that point a. Correct? A का इधर था -1. So you will have the final value as we had here as 2. So this was the slope. Once finding out the slope is found out. Now you can substitute it in the equation of tangent. After substituting it in the equation of tangent, we'll get an equation. This will be the equation of the tangent. Now the same procedure, whatever you did it for tangent, you're going to follow the same step for normal as well. Normal mein, what was your normal? This was the slope at your normal. Negative ka inverse of whatever slope you had for tangent. Then after doing that, this is the same question, the same formula you're going to apply. And then the last one, after substituting whatever you get, that is nothing but the equation of your normal. Okay, so let us do few some different types of sums. Okay, now suppose find the equation of not a very straightforward question. Okay, you have to find equation of tangent and normal to the curve y is equal to 6 minus x square, where normal is parallel to the line x minus 4y plus 3 is equal to 0. This is the question that you have. By the way, this is our curve y is equal to 6 minus x square. Just say last question, maybe they had given us one equation of the curve. This is the equation of a curve. Y is equal to 6 minus x square. And what is the second thing they've given? The normal, right? The normal to this curve is actually parallel to the line x minus 4y plus 3. Okay. Now, how did we initially start last wala sum में भी या उसके पहले the example that I've taken भी, wherever you have a curve, we want that line, no, that line on the curve, correct? So let us, they're not talking anything about the line over here actually in the question, but we need that, we know, right? Though wo wala line, the point have your always used to note it using a p of some alphabets. So let p of some x1 comma y1, you can call it a comma b, you can call it p comma q, not p because the p is already repeated, x y anything. So I'm just writing it at x1 comma y1, be the point on the curve y, which is equal to x minus 6 minus x square, where the normal is parallel to the line, this line x minus 4y plus 3 is equal to 0. Okay, so let us start with the procedure. We know that consider this is the equation or the first step. We found out the derivative, correct? We'll follow the same procedure, dy by dx, which is equal to, how will we derivate this now? This is nothing but d by dx of 6 minus x square. 6 का derivative, it's a constant. So 0 minus x square का भी जो super I showed you, so that's minus 2 because you have a minus sign over here, right? Now what did we do after that? How did we find out this slope of the tangent? Slope of the tangent के लिए हमने कैसे find किया था? dy by dx at what point? At a वाला point, correct? A वाला point का पहले equation में तो we had a number minus 1 minus 2 like that, but here we don't have a proper number. Here this thing we have, right? What we have assumed at what x is equal to x1. This is how you can write. Either you can also write it like this, dy by dx, x is equal to x1, or you can also write it like this, dy by dx at p of x1 comma y1. दोनों में जैसे भी पिछले समय I wrote it like this, I guess. You can use both the ways, both the meanings of the notation are same. This means derivative at this point. So how do you find out the derivative at this point? जहाँ x है हमने उसके जगह पे a वाला पॉइंट सब्स्टिट्यूट किया था, या 1 वाला, whatever it is. So this will become minus 2 into x के जगह पे what are we substituting? The first number, correct? The first number is x1 over here, alright? So this is nothing but slope of tangent at p of x1 comma y1, which is equal to minus 2x1. Okay, now finding out slope of normal as well. Slope of normal also we have. We cannot this thing, what do we call, equation of uh, tangent find करने के लिए. Right now we don't have that value of x1, correct? Because like what did we do in the previous sum? After finding out the slope, हमने क्या लिखा था? Equation of tangent. But हमने equation of tangent लिखने के लिए हमारे पास slope has to be a proper number, no? But this number, we don't have a proper number. This is only in terms of x1. So we'll, for finding out this value only, some additional information is given to us. What is that additional information? ये जो line है, ये line को normal parallel है. Okay, अच्छा, first they're talking about the normal, correct? So we know few other things of the normal also. Suppose the slope of the tangent is this much. What will be the slope of normal? Slope of normal at point px1 will be equal to negative of, right? This is already negative. So negative ka negative is positive. Uska inverse 1 upon 2x. Okay. Now, this thing you should know. This is the slope of the normal, correct? This is the slope of the normal. What did they tell you? What did they tell you about this normal? Normal is actually parallel to a line. That is what they said, correct? Normal is parallel to this line. Let us just write this line ka equation. Normal is parallel to this line. X minus 4y plus 3. Okay. Always remember, there is one small trick. Suppose if we want to find out slope of any line, okay, any line you have to find out uska slope. So that will always be minus of a by b. Minus of a by b. If you have a line something like this, ax plus by plus c, which is equal to 0. Okay, so it's always minus a by b. Minus a by b. Here what do we write? Minus 1 upon b. Right? So what is the answer? The answer is 1 by 4. So this is the equation of finding out, formula for finding out slope of the equation. So the slope of this equation is minus e by b, that is equal to 1 by 4. Okay. Now after finding out the slope of this normal, why did we find out slope of this normal? Because of that extra information that was given to us in the question, which says the normal is parallel to this line. Parallel lines will always have equal slope or the same slope. Okay, तो ये दोनों लाइन पैरेलल है. नॉर्मल इज पैरेलल टू दिस लाइन x minus 4y plus 3. अगर इसका स्लोप 1 by 4 है तो नॉर्मल का स्लोप भी शुड बी इक्वल टू 1 by 4 only. So what did we get that equation? That is equal to 1 by 2x1, correct? So इसका this thing is equal to okay, so that's the same thing. So when you kind of equate, now we can easily find out value of x1. I just cross multiply. 4 is equal to 2x1, which gives me value of x1 as 2. Okay, which gives me value of x1 as 2. But now since we have found out x1 ka value, let us also find out value of y1 also. How will we find out equation of y1? See, remember, this was the line, the curve that was given to you. Y is equal to 6 minus x square, right? This was the curve that was given to you. And what did we assume? That this line, no, p of x1 comma y1 lies on the curve. Okay, suppose if you have any line like this and you have any point on this, iska koi bhi point hai, suppose -2 comma -3, whatever it is. Okay, this equation, whenever you substitute this points, whenever you substitute in that equation, will always satisfy the equation. Why? Because that point is lying on the line. Satisfy matlab सारे points हम substitute कर दोगे उसमें, तो right hand side will be equal to 0 or left hand side will be equal to right hand side, whatever it is. So now when you have these 2 points x1 and y1 lying on the curve, right? So these points will always satisfy the equation. What will it satisfy? The values of x1 and y1 will always satisfy that equation. So now, since we have y is equal to 6 minus x square, x1 and y1, when you substitute, that will always satisfy. So I can replace y with y1, x with x1. Okay? Now I think we already know this answer. Yes, x1 का answer we already know, that is equal to 2. So y1 will be equal to 6 minus 2 ka square, which is equal to 4. That's equal to 1. Okay. Now what was our x1 and y1? Point on the curve, right? Hence we got the value of the point on the curve as x1 comma y1, which is equal to 2 comma 2. Now the problem is sorted. I think we know everything now, right? So initially, why couldn't we move ahead? Because of this x1. x1 mila hai, and we couldn't directly substitute that, no, in the equation. So we will substitute now. So now the equation of tangent will be y minus b, y minus b, no? Matlab this is your a and b, or your x1 and y1 now. So y minus b, which is equal to f dash of a, correct? What is your f dash of a? What was your derivative? Derivative was for the tangent was minus 2x1. x1 ka value we know it is 2 now. So that will be minus 4 into x minus, that will be equal to x minus a, correct? So y minus 2, which is equal to minus 4x plus 8. So this again becomes 4x plus y minus 10, which is equal to 0. So all the questions we have done now, equation of tangent we have found. Normal also they told us to find, and we know what is the difference. Equation of normal will be nothing but the same equation, which is equal to ye jo hai iska reverse negative, correct? So that will be 1 by 4. This is already minus, so there will be a plus now. X minus 2, y minus 2, which is equal to 1 upon 4, x minus 2. This gives me 4y minus 8, which is equal to x minus 2. This gives me x minus 4y plus 6, which is equal to 0. So that's the equation of tangent. This is the equation of normal. You have many other sums. Please remember, all the questions are of similar types. They may give you something in addition, or some part they don't give you, like how here they did not give that point that lies on the curve. But it's very easy, as we have done covered up two different types, extremely different types. But the basic you have to understand. There's a curve and then you have a tangent. So it touches at that point. So it will always satisfy that point on the curve. So uska slope kaisa rahega? That is nothing but the derivative at the point x1 or the first one, right? That's the sum. And the next one is slope of normal. जो भी tangent का slope है, उसका negative inverse is actually the slope of normal. After finding out slopes of tangent and normal, there is no problem at all. We can find out equation of tangent and equation of normal easily by substituting it in this equation. I think, yeah, this equation I had already written it on over here also. These are the equations. And also, if the points are not directly given, then what is to be done? Those also we have seen just now. Okay. So there are few sums in the exercise 4.1, three main questions and then three sub questions. The first one, so I think that you can try. It's again similar to this one. Now let us move to the next type of application. That's nothing but increasing and decreasing function, as I said. So the next is increasing and decreasing function. Increasing and decreasing function mein you need to understand the definition. Okay. as the value says, as the name says, first we'll do it for increasing. Suppose if you have a function, say y is equal to f of x, when can you call this increasing? Okay, y is equal to f of x, you can call this increasing if for each point, suppose if this is this thing, your x-axis, your y-axis, suppose यहाँ पे points है, this is your origin, a, b, okay, this is the range that we're talking about. Suppose if you take 2 points, x1 and x2 into that range, and this is, as I said, the function, okay, this much we're dealing with that function, all right. Now when you see at x1 the function is this much, at x2 it is this much, right. So it's clearly seen that as x1 here is small, x2 is greater, correct. So this is what, this is the point on the curve. So this point is nothing but f of x. This point is nothing. This point is nothing but f of x1. This point is nothing but f of x2. So we can clearly see x2 is greater than x1. So we're also having f of x2 is greater than f of x1, or f of x1 is greater less than f of x2. So if that is increasing, then the values of the functions are also increasing, correct? In this interval, in that specific interval a and b. We're not talking about anything apart from that. Okay, so that is what is called as increasing function. The function is said to be increasing if f of x2 will be greater than f of x1 whenever, only when x2 is greater than x1 in the interval a comma b. Alright. So geometrically, how do we see? This is the pattern that I showed. Also, when it keeps on increasing, the slope of the tangent, right, at x should always be positive because it is increasing. So that slope will always be positive. And um, if they tell you for a specific interval, I'll make it more precise in the sums that we'll do. Okay, let us do it for decreasing function now. Decreasing, as I said, it will be exactly ulta what happened in increasing. Suppose this is the range that we're taking, a and b. This is x1, this is x2, and if the function comes like this. So this is your f of x1, this is your f of x2. We can clearly see that x1 is less than x2, correct? x1 पहले आता है, x2 बाद में आता है. But values f of x1 is actually greater than f of x2. मतलब this is like ulta, no? So then this is called as decreasing function. Decreasing function in that interval a comma b. All right. So now, as I said here, whatever we said, everything comes out ulta over here. Slope of the tangent is negative or less than 0. Okay. And one important thing that you need to note is every function need not be increasing or decreasing. There are functions जो increase नहीं भी हो रहा है, decrease नहीं भी हो रहा है, वैसे भी हो सकता है. So those examples also will pick up. Okay. So these are the few examples. That was a definition you have to understand. And the other things that you have to understand is mm, as soon as we reach to one by one, I'll tell you. Suppose if we have a question like this and they tell you to check or test whether the following functions are increasing or decreasing. Suppose अगर ये वाला question है f of x which is equal to x cube minus 3x square plus 3x minus 100 where x belongs to real numbers. Okay, you have to check whether this function is increasing or decreasing. Now let me tell you, they are not restricting this to one certain range or domain. See, यहाँ पे इतना ही हाँ level था हमारा, हमने सिर्फ a और b के बीच में देखा था, but this now telling you that the value of x ranges the entire real numbers, all positive, all negative, decimal, fraction, rational, irrational, everything. Okay, so we're going to find out, you have to test. Okay, they're telling you check if it is increasing or decreasing. Okay, so this is the function. Always remember the first step is to find out its derivative. Okay, f dash of x, because they also told you that slope has to do something with telling you that it is increasing or decreasing. That one point we just discussed this a few minutes back. Slope and derivative is nothing but this is x cube, correct? X cube per derivative will be 3x square minus 3x square will be minus 6x plus 3. 100 ka derivative is equal to 0, so that will be as it is. So f dash of x, which is nothing but, if you want to, we can take out the 3 common no throughout. What remains? X square minus x plus 1. This is nothing but 3 into this is x square minus x plus 1 is nothing but the expansion of x minus 1 the whole square. A square minus 2ab plus b square, correct? So this will give you that answer, minus 2ab, right? A square minus 2ab plus b square. So this is यहाँ का 2 है ना, right? So after this, f dash of x, which is equal to 3 times x minus 1 the whole square, there is no time possible that this answer can ever become negative. So you have two terms inside. 3 hai or x minus 1 the whole square. 3 is positive. That can never become negative. This term, x minus 1 the whole square, it is actually a square. Right? 2 ka square, 3 ka square, 100 ka square. Squares of a number are never negative. Right? So this term will always be positive. X minus 1 the whole square is always positive. और 3 तो positive है वो हमको दिख ही रहा है, correct? Other than the fact that when you have the value of x as 1, okay, so when you have the x as 1, so what will you have when x is equal to 1? 1 minus 1 will be 0. So 0 square is 0, right? So the answer becomes 0. 0 is something that is neither positive nor negative, okay? So other than the place when x is equal to 1, rest everywhere x minus 1 the whole square will always be positive. So when this is positive, this entire thing will be positive. So f dash of x will be positive. Positive means it is actually greater than 0 for all x in the range of real numbers, but except where it is taking the value 1. Okay, 1 के अलावा, correct? तो हम लिखेंगे that entire set of real numbers minus x, एक 1, that 1 को exclude करके. Okay, that is what it is. Hence f of x is an increasing function, for all x belonging to R, but just that one you have to remove. Other than the fact that when it is becoming 1, just everywhere the function is increasing function. Okay, so this हमने इसमें क्या किया? We have not checked that x1 is greater than x2, so f of x1 is greater than, no. We have used this thing, correct? Its slope is positive. Here पे slope becomes negative, no, for decreasing. So that part we have used. Please understand. And the next question, and the next one, test whether, yes, the similar one. The question changes. Here also you have to check whether it is increasing or decreasing. And the easiest way, which I just taught you all right now. So let us follow the same procedure for all x belongs to real. Okay. Now we have f of x, which is equal to 2 minus 3x plus 3x square minus x cube. How will we derivate this? F dash of x, which is equal to 2 ka derivative is 0, minus 3x will be minus 3, x is 1, right? Plus x minus x cube is 3x square, right? The signs and everything. Okay. Now here also if we see, we have 3 common, correct? Wait, let me write it properly. Plus 3x minus 3x square. Now here also we have that 3 wala term common, but with that minus 3 only we can take it common, correct? So we'll take minus 3. What remains? 1 minus 2x minus this minus we've already taken outside plus x square, correct? अगर हमने यहाँ पे सिर्फ 3 कॉमन लिया होता, सपोज अगर मैं सिर्फ 3 कॉमन लेती हूँ तो क्या मिलेगा? -1 प्लस 2x माइनस एक्स स्क्वायर. बट हमारा हमेशा से फॉर्मूला में x स्क्वायर के साथ ओनली व्हेन वी हैव अ प्लस साइन इट इज ऑलवेज इजी टू डील, करेक्ट? So that is why instead of taking a +3 outside, I have taken that -3 outside. So then it will be 1 minus 2x plus x square. Okay, let me just write it properly so that it's easy for us to put it in any type of formula x square minus 2x plus 1. Oh, this is very similar to what we just did. This is minus 3 into x minus 1 the whole square. Now again the same thing. Here x minus 1 the whole square is always positive only when x is not equal to 0. But the trouble creator is minus 3 over here. So we had a positive sign, so that was always positive. So we were only concerned about this bracket. Now yahi itself is negative. When this itself is negative, so we have f dash of x is less than 0 for all x belongings to real minus that 1 which we're going to exclude. Correct? Okay. So hence this will be a decreasing function because the value of that slope is less than 0. Less than 0 for all x belonging to minus 1. That one is to be excluded. Okay. So this is like very similar to the above sum. It is all like very easy, quick. But when you have ranges, something like अभी suppose number line है तुम्हारा, you have all negative numbers first, all negative numbers, and then you have 0 over here, then you have all positive numbers, correct? Sometimes it may happen that a function is increasing या decreasing in a particular range. Okay, कभी कभी वो increase हो रहा है, increase हो रहा है, तो एक range के बाद वो decrease हो रहा है. It may happen, no? So the functions we have to find out ranges or those where it is increasing. अभी से यहाँ तक it is increasing, but इधर से इधर तक it is decreasing, correct? So such type of split होके functions or domains that we will find out. In what part it is increasing, in what part it is decreasing. Those values of x we will find out. Now suppose if you have find yes, this will be ulta. Find the values of x for which the function f of x, which is equal to x cube plus 12x square plus 36x plus 6 is increasing. Okay, find the values of x for which the function f of x, which is equal to x cube plus 12x square plus 36x plus 6 is increasing. Okay, so now when we write the function f of x, which is equal to x cube plus 12x square plus 36 plus 6x plus 16. Okay, this is the value of the function. Again, we're going to find out the derivative, like how we do it. Its derivative will be x cube 3x square as we've just done plus 12 into 2x, right, plus 36. 12 into 2 gives us 24 plus 36. All right. Just a second. Now, so from here, we can clearly see that 3 is common. Three is common. So what do we get? X square plus 8x plus 12. Correct? So this is what remains. Now, we have to break this. Abhi, this is clearly a quadratic and we can easily find out factors of this equation. X squared plus 8x plus 12. So हम जब इसको break करते हैं, you can break it like this properly. जैसे इसको, how do we find out the factors? This is to be broken up into two factors in such a way that on, first of all, you have to find out numbers. On multiplying should give you 12 and on adding should give the middle number, right? This is how you find out factors of the quadratic equation, which you've done in 10th standard also. X squared plus 8x plus 12. You have to give me two numbers. On multiplying gives 12 and on adding should give me 8. It's clearly 6 and 2. 6 2s are 12 and 6 plus 2 is 8. If you're not okay with that, you write all the tables. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 के table तक 2 के table में ही आ जाता है. So that also you can write. Okay. So these are the two numbers. So I will split them as x plus 2 and x plus 6. Okay, so these are the two numbers, 2x and 3. So I'll divide them as x plus 2 and x plus 6. Okay, now if you're not okay with directly doing this, you can do that in the rough also, as I said. Suppose if you have x squared plus 8x plus 12, how will you divide this? X squared plus 6x plus 2x plus 12. X squared plus 6x plus 2x plus 12, and then I've taken common x into x plus 6 plus 2 into x plus 6. So you have x plus 6 into x plus 2. That is what I have written over here. But you need not show all that calculation because it is very simple, and uh, assume that 12th standard they will know everything. Okay, so these are the two things. Now we cannot easily make out. अभी जैसा previous sum में you only had 3 into a bracket. और यहाँ पे या तो the वाला sum you had a -3 and then a bracket. और एकदम इसमें easily you can conclude that it is positive or negative. But right now, whether this is positive or negative, you cannot easily say, right? It is to be seen, or we have to kind of verify whether it is true or not, whether it is positive or negative. When will it be positive? When will it be negative? So you have two brackets, correct? Do brackets. Hai. So now, if f of x, when it will be greater than 0, that is nothing but as f of x. What are they telling you in the question? For the value of the function f dash of x to be increasing, you have to find out the values of x. अभी ये increase हो रहा है, so we know that f dash of x is always greater than 0, correct? When it is greater than 0, only when as f is an increasing function, correct? So only when it is an increasing function, तभी f dash of x is greater than 0. अभी ये greater than 0 है f dash of x. Greater than 0 मतलब this whole thing has to be greater than 0, correct? मतलब we have three types, no? Three parts. 3 है, x plus 2 है, x plus 6 है, which is greater than 0. So when you need to have this all the three things greater than 0, 3 is of course greater than 0, we know that. These two brackets are the points that we have to check. So when will we have those two things 0? इन दोनों को ये दोनों greater than 0 कब होगा? When can you have something greater than 0 on multiplying? Either both the things are positive or both the things are negative. Are you understanding? I am multiplying two things, two numbers, a into b, and I want the answer as greater than 0. I can either multiply a into b to get 0. I can either multiply minus a into minus b. That will also give me 0, because when multiplying two negative numbers, negative negative gets cancelled, no? And the product is always greater than 0. Now we want the product to be greater than 0. So what we will do, the two numbers, both the numbers can either both be positive or both be negative. So these are the two cases that we're going to take. Case 1 will be both positive. Case 2, should I write over here? One second. We have something to be written over there, but let me write that a little later. Okay. Now, so what will this be? X is greater than -2 and x is greater than -6. What did it tell you? X is greater than -2 also and x is greater than -6 also. This is the number line that we have, correct? Either 0 hai or they're all positive. 1, 2, 3, 4. Negative में -6, -5, -4, -3, -2, -1. What are they telling you? X is greater than -2. Greater than -2 मतलब ये full, and x is greater than -6 also. Correct? So what is that range? This range is coming inside, fitting inside this range only, right? यहाँ से इतना सारा. So we will take this wala range. Which is that? This range x is greater than -6, and this range is x is greater than -2. यहाँ पे ये full तो fit हो रहा है. But what about this numbers? -5 and -4, they're not fitting in this range, correct? We have to take what do you call, a region or that range which is common to both, correct? So ऐसा कौन सा है जो दोनों में common है? ये वाला में और ये वाला में. ऐसा कौन सा है जो दोनों में common है? यही एक range है, right? This is that one range. That is x is greater than -2. That's the range which is common to both. So we will take this region. Okay, we're going to select that region. Now we're going to do the same thing for the second one. X is less than -2 and x is less than -6. Okay, so let us do that. This is -6, -5. You can do this in rough, okay? There is no point that you're doing it over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and all the positive side. So what are they telling you? X is less than -2. So it has to be less than -2, matlab itna sara, and it is also less than minus 6. From here also it is less than minus. Suppose you have minus 7, minus 8, it is also less than minus 6 from here. Now यहाँ से यहाँ तक का एरिया है और यहाँ से आगे तक का एरिया है, इसके आगे, ओके इसके आगे तक का एरिया you don't know, right? The minus 8 है, minus 9 है, minus 10 है, and you have so many numbers over here. So this answer only you can take, which is common to both. Otherwise, if you take it is less than minus 1, all this is not coming into this range. So you will take this one, x is less than minus 6. These are the two values you will take. Now, how will we write it? Okay. Now, from this is the one case हमने लिया था because we had two brackets, right? So from case 1 and case 2, we have come to a conclusion that f of x is increasing if x is less than minus 6 and x is greater than minus 2 and x is greater than minus 2. Okay, these are the two ranges. So what are they telling you? X is less than minus 6 and x should be greater than minus 2. So what do you think could be the range? Suppose ये number range has, I said, minus 5, minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, 0, 1, 2, 3. x से greater होना चाहिए. See, negative में greater मतलब ऐसे होता है ना, negative में greater मतलब like this. So x is greater than 2 मतलब ऐसे, but it has to be less than minus 6 also. Okay, so it is not this way, it is this way. It has to be greater than minus 2. This is minus 2. All the numbers greater than minus 2 are on the positive side and less than minus 6. So all the numbers less than minus 6 are on this side. What do you have over here? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, so on and so forth. You have a plus infinity over here, correct? So here the range is minus 2, infinity. यहाँ पे again minus 6 है और उसके आगे क्या है? Minus 7, minus 8, minus 100, minus 1000. You have a minus infinity over this side. So this is the range. Are you understanding? So hence our x will now belong to minus infinity, minus 6 and x, or matlab it can either belong to this because it's a case, correct? We said case 1 or case 2, that depends on the bracket. So it will either belong to this range or it will either belong to minus 2 comma infinity, this range. All right. Now let us do one more problem similar to this, but abhi isme increasing tha, so let us do it for decreasing now. Hopefully it will be much clear. It is also simple, but you just have to understand. Suppose if you have something like this, minus 9x squared plus 12x plus 12. Okay. Find the values of x for which the function f of x is decreasing. Right? Decreasing now. I'm going to do the same steps. Let us find the derivative. This is which is 6x squared minus 18x plus 12. I can clearly see 6 common, so I'll take x squared minus 6x plus 3 plus 2. So this becomes 6 into, when I divide it, I get x minus 1 and x minus 2, like how I did it for the previous one. I want two numbers on multiplying should give me 2 and on adding should give me minus 3. What are those two numbers? 2 into 1 gives me 2, but it doesn't give me on adding minus 3. So I'll change the numbers minus 1, minus 2. So that's on multiplying gives me 2, and on adding also gives me minus 3. Minus 1 and minus 2 are two numbers. I've written it as x minus 1 and x minus 2. You can write it in, you just elaborate it a little more and then also you can write. So rough work if you want, I'll give it over here. X square minus 3x plus 2. So I've told you the two numbers are minus 1 and minus 2. X square minus 2x minus 1x plus 2, which is equal to 0. These two you have. X is equal to x into 2. And then here what we can write is minus 1. We can take it common. So then we get x minus 2. So here we have x minus 2 into x minus 1. That is what I have written over here. Clear? Okay. So now if this is clear, we can move ahead. They have clearly said us that this is a decreasing function and you have to find out values of x. Abhi decreasing hai, so we know that f dash of x is less than 0. Less than 0 means this value is less than 0. When it is less than 0, two brackets are less than 0. When will you have, abhi jaisa upar wala sum tha na, increasing mein, matlab it has to be greater than 0. Greater than में कैसे you will have two things greater than 0, या तो दोनों positive है या तो दोनों negative है, only then the product can be greater than 0. When will you have both things negative? On multiplying two things getting negative means दोनों में से एक number has to be negative और एक number has to be positive. Okay? Decreasing में it is ulta. When will you have two numbers on multiplying? You have to get a negative number. You should have at least one of the two. मतलब one of the two negative, एक negative, एक positive you should have. So the cases that we'll take is first case will be one number will be positive, one number will be negative, second number will be the other one positive and the other one negative. Suppose if I take x minus 1 is less than 0 and x minus 2 is greater than 0. What should be the other case? Case 2 should be the first one is greater than 0 and the second one is less than 0. I'm taking it ulta. Okay. Now I have, and this is less than 0, so I'll have x is less than 1 and x is greater than 2. What are they telling you? X is less than 1 and x is greater than 2. Means x 1 से छोटा होना चाहिए और वही x 2 से बड़ा भी होना चाहिए. Do you have any such number? The number which is less than 1, something like 0, minus 1 and everything. But that number should also be greater than 2. No, you don't have any number common to this, correct? This is nothing but a contradiction. Okay? When you don't have any number satisfying that given range, you call it a contradiction, which is a contradiction. Right? Because you don't have any number or less than 1 may or greater than 2 may, wahi x hai. So it's not possible. Now the next one is, suppose if you have something like this, x is greater than 1 and x is less than 2. Yes, x has to be greater than 1, but it has to be less than 2. Yes, we have no numbers such like that. When x is less than 1 and it is greater than 2. तो यही इसी को मैंने proper एक equation में लिखा है, x is greater than 1, x is greater than 1, but it is less than 2. It is less than 2. Okay. So what is the range now? The proper the range of x. So f of x, the original function that you have, it is decreasing. For what values? Is decreasing function if x belongs to this range. X belongs to 1, 2. Can be anything, any like positive, negative, or any numbers in between this range only. Unlike the previous sum, they said the entire range R, पूरा R में, but we selected that 1.1, number 1, जहाँ पे the bracket was becoming negative, right? Other than the fact that it is 1, rest everywhere the number was positive or increasing or decreasing. Likewise, इधर सिर्फ यही range में it is decreasing, rest everywhere out it will increase or maybe it will not increase also, but this is the place where it will only decrease. Okay. After this, we have the other this thing as maxima and minima, but I think we can do that next time. We have total of 4 exercises. 2 more exercises we have. We'll see if we can do that. Probably 2 more lectures, I guess.